Namaste. Welcome to yet another episode of Health Matters by Thought Habitats. It all started in January 2020 when we all started realizing the ill effects of the COVID 19 virus, or known as coronavirus as well. Initially, it was only China, and then all other countries started facing the heat one after the other. And now, when we thought everything is over, we are facing the second wave, which is more deadly. And ironically, what is happening is added to the pandemic, we have an epidemic as well. Yeah, I'm talking about the black fungus, which has been called as the epidemic in various states in India. And the fatality of black fungus is so, what to say, it is so uncertain that it is adding up to a lot of fear mongering everywhere, right? But what is this black fungus all about? And what is the fatality rate of black fungus along with COVID 19? And who are all at the risk of it? And what should we take as a common precaution to save us from both COVID 19 as well as the black fungus? And when it is all going to come to an end? And of course, that is, we all cannot predict when it is all going to end, but at least we might want to see a light at the end of the tunnel to be reaffirmed that the future is brighter. And for that, we have Dr. Ankit Jha, a renowned dental surgeon from New Delhi. So I specifically chose Dr. Ankit Jha for this. He has been demonstrating time and again about the vaccines. He didn't create any misinformation like other doctors. I mean, like most of the doctors out there in the public domain who have been saying that, okay, vaccine is going to do this to you, so be careful. Vaccine is going to do this to you, so don't do that. All that kind of misinformation has created a lot of fear among the public. On the other hand, we have medical professionals like Dr. Ankit Jha, who has been giving sensible information to people and which is really helping a lot of us out there. So without much ado, let us invite Dr. Ankit Jha. Let us welcome Dr. Ankit Jha to the show. So Ankit, it is a real pleasure to have people like you in the public domain who are really giving the right information and reaffirming the fact that the future looks bright.
Thanks a lot, Arvind. The pleasure is all mine. And thanks a lot for inviting me on your channel, on your platform, so I can spread a little more awareness about this. Ever since earlier, I used to make dental videos, but ever since this pandemic hit, I thought dental is taking a backseat, and as it should. And COVID is something that has a lot of misinformation around it. And as you rightly said, there are a lot of people, if you look at the politicians, they have their own agenda. You look at the TV channels, they have their own agenda. Nobody is actually talking about the common public, like what they should do and what are their pain points. So I just asked a few patients of mine what all are there that you want to listen to, or what you are confused about. So that's how I started doing I started making videos on COVID and everything. And here we are. I was about to make a video on black fungus. Then you messaged me. So I thought, why not? Let's just spread awareness on this channel as well. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for inviting me.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I have a few questions for you. Okay. So as I said, along with the pandemic, we have this new epidemic, black fungus, right? So again, people are telling a lot of things that the entire eyes are getting thrown out in the verge of treating black fungus. That is all really deadly to hear. You know what? what's going to happen to my eyes if I really, if my eyes are going to be taken off, and how am I going to live further? That is a fact of fear mongering which is happening in the public domain. So, would you like to tell us about black fungus and how it affects, etc.?
See, the disease, it's called mucormycosis, and it is caused by a mold of fungus, a very specific mold of fungus, which is anyway present in the environment. I mean, in all probability, you and I are inhaling it at the very moment that we are speaking. It's already there in the environment. But the thing is, there are a lot of diseases that our body already has a natural immunity to. So the same is there with mucormycosis. And in medical terminology, there are some diseases that we call, some infections that we call opportunistic infections. So in that, what happens is the body is completely fine. We can't get infected. But the moment our immunity drops for various reasons, these pathogens are able to enter our body and create the disease. So this mucormycosis, this black fungus, is just another opportunistic infection that is entering us due to this COVID pandemic, due to diabetes and all the other reasons that are there. So it's already there in the environment. It's just that our immunity is a little weak because of COVID. That's why it is infecting us. There's no other reason for that.
And yeah, you did scare me when you said it is already in the environment. But yeah, overall, your answer did give a reaffirming
Yeah.
that it is all
See, the
fine.
thing with mucormycosis and these fungal pathogens is that you must have heard that people who are taking long-term steroids and some other medications that are being given in COVID. The steroids, what they do is, whenever there is a pathogen, forgetting about COVID and this pandemic, whenever there is a pathogen that enters our body, our body's immune system gets activated and they start attacking the pathogen. During that attack only, our temperature starts to rise, fever starts to rise, we start getting reactions, sore throat and everything. All of this, the pathogen is not doing anything. It's just that our body is reacting to the pathogen in that. So steroids, what it does is, steroids will decrease the, it will suppress the immune system to some extent that it doesn't start harming us. For example, if the if the temperature of our body starts rising to 101, 102, it's still fine. The pathogens are going to get killed. The body is still fine. But the moment it starts to go to 103 and 104 degrees, that's when the internal functions of our body starts to stop. They will cease to exist. They will start shutting down because the temperature is getting so much. So in those cases, as you must have heard, when the fever starts to rise, they give us steroids. So the function of the steroid is to decrease the immune response, the immune system, dampen the immune system. So now that works as a double-edged sword. So it's also helping the body by not increasing the temperature so that our bodies doesn't get affected. So our body parts don't stop functioning. But at the same time, it also decreases the immune system and gives the opportunity to all these pathogens like mucormycosis, these fungus and all these molds to enter our body and just have a party inside a body.
Yeah, I understand that. But Ankit, you very well explained how COVID-19 is connected to mucormycosis, that is black fungus. But we've been hearing this thing that people who are using this oxygen concentrators, they are more at risk of getting black fungus. And that is what we heard in
Yeah.
Maharashtra for the first time when the first case of black fungus came up. So how
Mm.
is that happening? So is it really connected or?
Mm. So what happens is, as I said, it's an opportunistic infection. Plus, it's already there in the environment. So it's like somebody who is on an oxygen concentrator or somebody who's on the ventilator. Now, all these equipments, oxygen concentrator will have water. It has specific tubings. It has a mask that we put on our faces. So all of that, if you don't get it cleaned regularly, or if you're using contaminated water, by contaminated water, what I mean is anything apart from distilled water is contaminated water. Because see, even when we go, I mean, in the filter also we have bacteria, we have fungus. That's also a moist environment. All these fungus, you must have noticed even on the breads when we have molds. It's a moist environment, so the fungi are attracted to it. The same thing happens in the oxygen concentrators and the ventilators, all the tubings which are already moist because of the oxygen, because of the precipitation of water, precipitation of oxygen. All of that is there. That's what creates a moist environment for all these fungi to grow. And as I said, it's already in the environment. So if it's already inside the tube, you don't change the water. You're not using distilled water. You're not changing the tubing as well. So there's a very high chance that that mold gets activated, that goes inside your nose, and you just get affected by it.
Okay. So we need to be very careful in all those.
Yeah. And apart from, I mean, earlier, if you talk about in general the epidemiology of this disease, before this COVID happened, we were getting barely 70 cases in all of India in the entire year. Now, if you compare, 70 sounds like a good number, but if you compare it to the population of 1.5 billion,
Yeah.
70 is not even like 0.0.0. But these days, even in Maharashtra, in just Maharashtra, 2000 people got infected with this. So now the number is increasing, and it's not even affecting only the COVID patients. It's only affecting the patients who were maybe on long-term steroids, who had different other medications to suppress the immune system, who were already diabetic, who already had complications of diabetes, then some cancer patients, then some organ transplant patients. Because in patients like cancer and organ transplant, where we have a lot of aggressive treatment, we deliberately suppress the immune system, because the immune system starts to act against the body. Like in transplant, suppose you've had a kidney transplant, or why you, some random person has had a kidney transplant. So in that, it takes time for the body's immune system to realize that this new kidney is not a foreign object. It's not a foreign organ. We need to accept it as our own. So during that time, we suppress the immune system, so the our body's fighter cells, our body's leukocytes and neutrophils, they don't start attacking the new kidney. So that is the reason why we deliberately suppress the immune system. That is a similar reason why we do it in COVID. Then if you have multiple, I mean, all of these together, then your risk increases. Otherwise, if you're just a normal COVID patient who had very mild symptoms, who got treated at home, who did not even need to go to a hospital, who did not need a ventilator, you most probably will not be at a risk, because your immunity is already strong enough. If you have had to go to a hospital, if you had to take oxygen, that means your immunity was low at some point in time. That's why your body was not able to fight it.
Okay, that's interesting to know. And Ankit, as you said, so this is something which we may not realize. We may not realize if distilled water is used, or like what kind of a water
Yeah.
is used in our oxygen concentrators. So, but
Yeah.
again, for a common man, what are the symptoms that we should first see? Because you earlier did mention to me that dentists have a role to play in this.
Yeah.
So, which means your mouth could be the first region where you could identify this. In that case, what is the common symptom that a common man could identify and act upon?
Yeah. So see, it's very simple to understand. Ideally, there are many forms of this mucormycosis. It affects your skin also. It is subcutaneous also. It is pulmonary also. It's gastrointestinal also. But in this, what is happening is, since COVID is already a respiratory problem, that's why it's affecting the respiratory parts more, even more. So what happens is, suppose we have a mask on and we inhale the molds through our nose or maybe through our mouth. So what happens is, once the fungus is inside, so our body, the first defense system of our body is neutrophil cells. So they are supposed to come and fight the fungus, and they are supposed to overpower it, and it's supposed to die. That's how a normal person's immunity would react to it. Now, what happens in COVID? Because of the immune suppression, the function of these neutrophils is already suppressed. So whenever we take, I mean, the mold goes inside our nose. Maybe suppose it is somewhere here and there are no neutrophils to combat it. So what happens is it starts to spread in the surrounding areas. So when it goes inside the nose, what are the surrounding areas? The surrounding areas would be the sinus. The surrounding area would be the mouth. The surrounding area would be the eyes. That's why most of the manifestations that we are seeing in the mouth region, in the nose, in the sinuses, in the eyes. Now, if you properly look at the symptoms for this, so ideally, if it is affecting the nose, the patient will come to you, or if you know somebody, they are going to complain of a stuffy nose, of an irritated nose, of maybe you have some nasal discharge, some different color discharge, maybe blood coming out of it, maybe black colored mucus coming out of it. That would be one of the signs. Then that is from the nose. Then slowly it will start going to your sinus and the eyes. So in the eyes, what will happen is you will start to have blurry vision. You will start to have double vision. The area near your eyes, it will start to get red, or it will start to discolor. See, it's like wherever the mold is going, wherever the fungus is going, it's just having a party. So in the nose, it starts to have a party. If it does not open out into the nose, if it goes directly to the eyes, then the eyes will have a problem. If it goes into the sinuses, then you will start to have headaches. You must have noticed whenever in the cold times, when we have sinusitis, when we have infection of the sinus. So in our face, we have a lot of sinus spaces. So wherever it is there, it start to going. I mean, it start to have pain. Either you have pain near your eyes, either you have pain near your nose. Then if it goes into the mouth, your teeth will start to get loose. Because see, what happens is, I forgot to mention it earlier. So when the neutrophils are not able to stop it, when it enters the bloodstream, it starts to form blood clots. Now those blood clots, they completely block your blood vessel, your arteries and your veins. So that area starts to get black, and that's where the fungus starts to eat away at your tissues and starts to necrose and kill your tissues. So because of this black color, this name has been given, black fungus, because it kills all the tissues and makes it black. So before it makes it black, it starts to make it yellow, it starts to make it red. Because of all the blood that is getting blocked, it starts to get red. When pus starts to form, when it starts to kill all the cells, pus is nothing but killed cells, the body cells that are being killed. So that comes out in the form of pus. So either it can come through your nose, or it can come through your oral cavity. That's your maxilla, that's your gums, that's your teeth. So when it starts to affect that, that's when you realize that maybe in my mouth some yellowish pus is coming out, my teeth are getting loose, I'm having pain in my teeth, having pain in my sinus. So those are like the major manifestations that occur when you start to have it. And the thing about this is it's very fatal. I mean, it has a fatality of somewhere around 50 to 80%. And as you rightly said in the beginning, fatality is not the main problem. I mean, fatality is when the patient dies. But suppose if you have to take out the patient's eye, if you have to take out the patient's jaw, the patient will be saved. Mortality rate is not increasing because you saved the patient, but the quality of life deteriorates to quite an extent. I mean, if you don't have teeth, forget about teeth. If you don't have the jaw, you won't be able to eat. If you don't have eyes, you won't be able to see. So that is even worse than the patient dying. So that's why it's very important in this case that you have to be self-aware about what all symptoms you are facing after you got recovered from COVID. It is very important that you stay in touch with the doctor. Whoever was treating you during COVID, they will tell you what all the signs. Stay in touch with your dentist, stay in touch with your ophthalmologist if you have one. So it's like before I get to know about it from a patient, the patient will feel that he's having stuffy nose, he's having headaches also, he's having pus discharge from his teeth. So all that the patient needs to be, I mean, they need to be aware about all the symptoms. Only then they'll realize. And the sooner you realize you have a problem, the sooner the treatment will start. And the higher chances are there of you being saved.
Yeah, that's, I have no words to say now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and one final question, Ankit. So now that a third wave is predicted With already we are suffering a lot with the second wave, and God forbid we are saved from the third wave. Yeah. But again, along with the third wave, does it mean the fatality rate of black fungus will also increase?
See, fatality rate of the black fungus is directly related to the patient's immune system. There are a lot of patients, even in COVID. I mean, if you look at the fatality of COVID, it's barely 3 to 5%, but it is so infectious that that 3 to 5% is also getting into lakhs because it is affecting lakhs. So, see, when the second wave came out, we got a little lax when it came to or following all the COVID protocols. Then the virus also mutated. Now the virus mutates again into something that is even more infectious. Like this time, more patients had to go into hospitals. More patients needed oxygen intervention because this mutation was very dangerous. So next time, if it mutates, God forbid, I hope it doesn't. But if it does mutate, then it is possible that mucormycosis can increase. In fact, 2 days ago, I was reading a report of 4 cases of white fungus being found in Bihar. So I think, I mean, ever since 2019, 2021, we are just finding out more and more diseases. And these are the chapters that, being very honest, coronavirus, mucormycosis, these are the chapters that students usually skip in college because they're not very important. They're not going to come in the exam. So we usually skip it. But now all of us, I mean,
Well, it
all these
didn't come in the
viruses, all
exam, but
these
it came as a reality to all of us.
exactly. So now we have to go back to our books and read what all was there. So it's completely unpredictable. It's all God's will, whatever that is. That all of this is happening, and I mean the best part about this is that we are able to combat it. I mean, if this happened in maybe 500 years ago, when the Black Plague came out, I mean that wiped out the entire population. And even in this entire, I mean, all the negativity, we should be very grateful that no matter what, our healthcare system is at least able to save as many people as we are able to. I
Yes.
understand a lot of people are dying and there's a lot of negativity and we are facing a lot of problems. But at the same time, we are able to combat it as compared to what all would have happened if we were not even this prepared. I can't even imagine if this mutation had come out last year. The first wave would have been much more deadly, and then the second wave would have been deadlier. So, I mean, seeing all of that, I'm quite grateful that India's healthcare system is at least this strong that we were able to fight off this disease for a very long time.
Exactly. Exactly. I totally agree with that. We always worried that what is the healthcare system going to do, but look out there, like primary health centers are really much more efficient these days. Primary health centers, just through the primary health centers, India has vaccinated crores of people. And as on date, if I'm not wrong, 18.7 crore people have been vaccinated,
Yeah.
and that is the largest vaccination drive in the world. And everybody
And
could go on and criticize the government,
yeah.
but the government has really done its best to combat all
Mm,
these, which is really commendable. Again, there are hits and misses, but we learn on the go
mm.
because it is a very
And
unusual
the
scenario.
best, yeah. And the best thing about is both the vaccines were India made. We
Yes,
did not have to wait for foreign help. We did not have to wait for US or Russia to send the vaccines. We were self-sufficient enough to combat it on our own without any help.
that's really good. That says that more vaccination production facilities should be opened in India, that we then and there face it. And, even with two large vaccination facilities, the entire population. I remember one of the medical professionals whom I interviewed before, he did mention if we vaccinate 70 crore of the population itself, we are done. We have done 100% of the job,
Yeah,
because anyway a big
agreed.
population will say that I won't get vaccinated, I'm worried of vaccination, and some will have allergies too. So for that
Yeah,
matter, 70 crore of the 70 crore we've already vaccinated 18 crore. That is like reaching 30-40%, right? Which is
mm.
a good number to say.
That's good enough. That's good enough. 50% of the population vaccinated is good enough. One more thing I wanted to mention,
Please.
that whenever somebody gets symptoms like these, first of all, they should contact the doctor. Second of all, they should not start self-medication at all. That is very important.
Mm.
Because see, these days, looking at Google, looking at YouTube, it's not very difficult to find out which all medicines you need for your condition. But it is very important to realize that everybody's symptoms are different, everybody's treatment will be different. If somebody's nose is affected, they need to go to an ENT surgeon. If somebody's eyes are affected, they need to go to an ophthalmologist. If somebody's mouth is affected, they need to go to a dental surgeon. It is very important. Like if you have it in the mouth and you go to an ophthalmologist, they're not going to treat your mouth properly. They'll only look at your eyes, they won't even focus on your mouth. So it's very important you speak to your doctor, you speak to your physician, and they will tell you where you need to go. And whenever you have doubts, you need to get, there's this test called the KOH test, the potassium hydroxide swab test, where they take a very deep swab of your nose or wherever you're feeling the symptoms, and they send it for culture. And the best thing about this is that culture report you will get in 2 to 3 hours. So within 2 to 3 hours, you will already know that you are at risk, and you need to start contacting your doctor for that. And the role of dental surgeons also, as I said, it affects the mouth as well. But there's another very important role. All the people who maybe lose their eyes or maybe lose their nose or something like that. In prosthodontics, which is a specialty of dental surgery, in that we talk about rehabilitation. So along with the rehabilitation of the mouth and the teeth, we also make prosthesis for nose and eyes. There are a lot of cases. If you want, I can share a lot of before and after pictures with you. I have a lot of friends who are prosthodontists. All of them have studied that. There are prostheses like the eye or the nose that are so real that not even on the first glance, on the second, unless the patient tells you that this is a fake nose or a fake eye, you will not realize that it is fake. Obviously, in the eye, you can guess because the patient will not be blinking. But then that can very easily be changed with specs. Like right now, I'm wearing specs. And if I had a prosthetic eye, you would not realize it. So that is also where the role of a dental surgeon comes very handy when it comes to this. But then again, as a doctor, I sincerely hope that nobody goes through this, because I did get a few patient calls who were very scared about this. Thankfully, they were not affected by it, and they were not even coming in the high risk category. But because of all this negativity and all that is surrounding this area, I mean, this particular field of COVID and mucormycosis, people are genuinely very scared. Even a smallest black spot, I mean, it can get your, I mean, it can take your anxiety out of the roof. So again, it's very important to be in touch with your own doctor instead of self-medicating.
Yeah, so that's quite a lot of good information you've given to people. And I'm sure people will definitely tend to follow all these. And thanks a lot for your time. As a healthcare professional, being a frontliner, you have a lot of duty to do. And despite that, you've given some time for us to come and talk and to educate people and create awareness on all the misinformation out there. So that's really commendable, Ankit, and all the best. And we are expecting more for
Thanks
you,
a
and
lot.
our hopes are high on you people now. So
Thanks a
you
lot.
have to
And
take us
here I
from
would
all
also
the
like to mention, thanks a lot. And I would also like to mention that, see, I am a doctor, so it is my job. But you who are not from a medical background, still you're working towards spreading awareness for this. That is an even more commendable job than what the doctors are doing, because we have been trained to do this. If today maybe you told me to make a bridge or maybe go and serve someone else, which is not from my background, then I would be going out of my comfort zone. But right now I'm within my comfort zone, in the sense this is what I have been training all my life. But you being from a non-dental, non-medical background, you are working towards spreading awareness. That's an even more commendable job than all the frontline, what all the frontline workers are doing. So thanks a lot for you and other people like you who are not focusing on the negativity and who are looking at the silver lining in the dark clouds.
That's really wonderful. Thank you for all your comments. And We are looking for more from you.
Most welcome. I'll be doing all I can, and I'm sure you're doing all you can.
Yes.
And I would just like to tell everybody else who's watching this, the war against COVID, the war against mucormycosis cannot be won just by doctors. They are just on the front line. They are just trying to do damage control right. But it is the responsibility of the people of India, people of the world, that they don't increase the damage. So it's just follow the protocols, follow all COVID protocols, wear a mask, keep yourself sanitized. That's all that is needed to win against COVID.
Yes, totally agree. So we all have to be responsible at this point in time so that we come out of the uncertainties soon. Sure. Thank you, Ankit. Thanks.
Thank you, Arvind. It was a pleasure being on this platform.